Hey everybody, it's Brett Savage here with another run-of-the-mill Garry's Mod tutorial. And I'm going to show you how to use advanced commands within Garry's Mod to either animate easier or give you access to more things that you can do, such as enable slowed time or something like that. Now, the reason I'm doing a tutorial on advanced commands is because uh, well, I tried to use Source Filmmaker for this project, and I wanted to make a 3D Star Wars animation. This is why I'm on a map of Tatooine with the carrier over there, Luke Skywalker's house, and some other stuff. But I wanted to do a 3D Star Wars animation, and Source Filmmaker, it's Windows only, and the computer we had, I could not use that because it didn't have enough horsepower to run it. So it kept crashing on me, or it just didn't work. So that's pretty much what went down. So that's why I'm doing Garry's Mod again. So like I said before, I used Garry's Mod for this project. I used some player-made models and the likes for Star Wars stuff because that's not originally in Garry's Mod. I used this Tatooine map that's also player-made with all this stuff. And I also used the developer console in the Garry's Mod menu. And what this is, it's basically just somewhere where you can enter in code to change the game. So, and this is basically a huge part of advanced commands. It's where you go to enter them in and everything else. So I'm just going to start off by showing you guys what commands are available. These are just some of them. So I have the picture, and right there's the developer console. I have the picture, I have the name, I have what it does, and this one, it enables you to slow time. It's not the actual slow time command, but it's the gateway to enable you to slow time. This gets rid of that little pesky health bar that's on the bottom right here, so that if you wanted to record while you were walking around or something, it wouldn't be there to interfere. We got record keyframe command, which basically in Garry's Mod and Stop Motion Helper 2.0, if you press M, you have a timeline down here that has a bunch of frames and keyframes that I explained in the last video. And I'm going to change it to 60 frames per second because that's what my project is in, at 200 frames. And I'm going to load this car to its original scene. I think it's Tuscan one. There we go. And I'm going to load Jar Jar to that scene. So basically you have a timeline right here. You got a keyframe that displays a moment in time, and I have him moving and coming back. And basically originally you had to, if I wanted to raise his arm up, I grabbed that car. If I wanted to move his arm up, I would have had to move it up, freeze it, and I actually had it in that point in time. But if I wanted to move it up and freeze it, I would have had to do that, go over here and press record, and that can get pretty tedious. So what that command does is it allows you to press a certain button to, or a key on your keyboard to be able to record a keyframe. And for this case, I put P. So instead of having to go and record it puts a keyframe right there. Instead, I just go off of it, and I could be over here or something, press P, come back over, and it's automatically recorded. So I have him raising his arm up, and it goes back down. But that's basically what the bind P to SMH record is. Removes decals. If you accidentally shoot a character and they get blood on them, you can clear that. Slow time command, it works with this one, which is the gateway, and you can slow time using that if you want a cool slow motion scene. this is kind of a dicey command. It's more of like the radical turn everything off, and if you do it wrong, then you'd have to restart Garry's mod entirely. So I never really used that one. But basically, you wouldn't even see what tools you had or anything on your HUD. If you die, you get a little death notification. Oops. If you accidentally die while you're in the process of recording, it won't bring that up. And wireframe command, it's another bind a certain key to that. So that means if you press it, it'll automatically do that command. I binded it to K, and basically you press K and you get a bunch of wires to where you can grab stuff, because sometimes you'll get body parts you can't really see where to grab it. For example, if you grab Jar Jar's ears right there, you can't grab them because they're a part of his head, and the window where you can grab it is displayed by this wire right here, which you can grab and move around. You can, if you wanted to, you could grab under his chin if you wanted to move it like that, and you can press K again to bring them off, and same rule applies, stuff like that. And all these commands are entered in through this developer console that I showed earlier, and like through these screenshots you can see how you enter them in. So for example, I'll do the gets rid of health bar one because I haven't done that one yet. So I'm going to type in CL draw HUT space 0. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to type in CL underscore draw HUD space 0. And no errors came up. It didn't, not recognize the command. And if you look there, the health bar that was there previously is not there now. So I can even reverse that command, I believe, if I just go here. I'm going to try CL draw HUD1 or space 1. And I'll see what that does. It brings the health bar back. So you can kind of experiment and do whatever with those little commands. So if I learned anything from this project, I learned that always have a reliable source for your project. So for example, make sure you have a computer that's beefy enough to run Source Filmmaker, because that was my original project and it didn't work out. Other than that, make sure that make sure you use Jar Jar in your projects, because Jar Jar is nice and he's the best character in Star Wars, obviously. It is also essential that you know how to problem solve your way through certain issues, I guess, because at one point I was trying to figure out how to bring my character into third person, and I googled it and I tried those commands and they didn't work, so I had to try variation of those commands. So for example, I tried to enter in a certain command, it didn't work. I would try different variations. So I think I did SV cheats 1, and it says right there SV cheats changed to 1, and then I tried third person with the underscore, which I thought was the command. I entered it in. It says unknown command third person, so I tried it again, except this time I put no underscore, and there you have it. I'm a spooky skeleton in third person, so I can animate in third person if I wanted to and throw cars. So if you wanted to go back, you just go there and say first person, and it'd bring you back to first person. So that's just an example of what I had to do when I had the problem to solve to get my way out of a mess. So yeah, so that's about it for this project. I hope you guys learned a thing or two about advanced commands in Garry's mod. So see you later.